Squad, welcome back to IGHQ. You could call me COMM, and today we have some Apex news. Of course, the new season is about to drop, so I'm sure you've heard or seen some of this going around, but hopefully I've gathered all the Apex facts and put it into one place here, one video, the surface video, and what to expect for Season 15. But with that said, Legends, let's take a look at Season 15, Eclipse. Dropping November 1st, it brings with it a new map, the Broken Moon of Cleo, which is where we are introduced to its defender and our new legend for the game's Catalyst. Of course, we'll have our new battle pass with its cybernetic theme. I could be biased, but I'm already vibing with a lot of what we have to see here, and the level 100 to 110 reactive skin for the season being a charge rifle. Of course, we'll have a bunch of other loot in the battle pass and weekly challenges to help us get there. Ranked is being refreshed, and the grind continues. The Legends brand new to Apex Legends customization is the addition of stickers. As we can see here on items such as cells, and I'm sure others as well, this will be a fun way to show off that collection and make your legend a little more unique. And just in time for the holiday season, we get the gift of giving being added to Apex. That is correct, a way to gift to your friends in-game. Check this out. First off, they say you must have a login verification turned on and be at least account level 10 and be in-game friends with those you want to give to, of course. But the account must be in good standings with both you and your friend for at least 2 weeks before you can start giving and receiving gifts. If you've already been in-game friends for 2 weeks prior to the launch of this, you can just start gifting right away. Selecting a gift for your friends is simple. Gifts can be acquired with Apex coins from the store tabs at launch and range from a single item like legend weapon skins or even bundles. You can gift up to 5 gifts every 24 hours, so you feel free to be generous and show your friends that you appreciate them. They say when you are ready to surprise your friend with a special something, all you need to do is navigate to the item you want to give to your friends. If you got enough Apex coins for the gift you wish to get, select your friend's username from the list and press the gift button. It's really never been easier to spread that holiday cheer and become the squad cheermeister. So it just seems that Silva Pharmaceuticals has its hands in everything. Trying to source this moon's fuel, ferrofuels, we see him actually making a deal with Seer, and something seems shady there, but just trying to defend her home now as she did before is Teresa Crystal Smith, aka Catalyst. Born on Boreas, now age 29, she had a rough go of it until she found herself through the transition, and with her friend. Respawn did confirm here on Twitter that we do indeed have our first trans woman entering the games, so sticking with their inclusivity, we love to see it. Unfortunately, her and her friend's passion to defend the moon did get them into a bit of a situation. As you can see here, her friend got caught and Teresa was left alone. She decided to run away from home and actually found a new community with the terraforming crews, learning how to wield ferrofluid and with a witchy-like vibe. As she now fights to put a stop to what's happening to her home from within the games, I'm excited to see what she can do, so let's take a look at those abilities. Starting with the tactical ability, Piercing Spikes. This allows you to throw out a patch of ferrofluid which turns into spikes when enemies are near. However, Catalyst will remain immune to other enemy spikes. We see this in the gameplay and it looks pretty interesting. Moving on to our passive ability though, we have the Barricade. It reinforces doors, strengthening them and locking them to enemies. Spaces where doors have been destroyed can also be reinforced. So just kind of like that Newcastle wall, just throwing that up. You can see it here on the screen. It buys the team some time to just embrace that third party or the team chasing them. And as a defender should, definitely feels right for the kid. As we move on to her ultimate, we see her raise a permeable wall of ferrofluid and the enemies that walk through it are slowed and actually partially blinded for a brief time as well, and this kind of involuntarily marks them when they kind of come through and just allows you to beam them. And it looks like when Seer's ult goes down here on the screen, he still can't see Catalyst, so definitely interested to see what other kind of tricks are up her sleeve, and we'll have a video dedicated to that like we did for Vantage if you want to check that out, linked in the cards. Always looking forward to a new legend, but not only is Catalyst adding new life to this game this season, The game itself has been moved to this new location, as we mentioned, Boreas' broken moon, Cleo. So let's talk about the map. Broken Moon is a terraforming project commissioned by the Cleo Recovery Council as a result of the catastrophic meteor impact that occurred in 2708. With the help of the Boreas Science Division, the moon became habitable by 2715, and to further fund the colonization, the government entered into a contract with the Syndicate to bring the games to the moon. We get to explore all of these new POIs in this rocky extraterrestrial terrain, but it's also going to have some familiarity to it, and with this beautiful sky and light box, I hope we're in for a treat. They say here it's about the same size as World's Edge, but on Cleo you can rotate in style with the newly added zip lines. A fast, predictable way to get from one location to another effectively and outrun the zone. These rails are set up along predictable paths though and move quickly from one POI to the next. And while riding the rails you'll have the same functions available to you as a zip line, but you are going to have increased speed. Now let's take a look at some of these points of interest and these futuristic stations essentially dispersed across this moon for one purpose or another for this project of, re-inhabiting the moon, starting with Terraformer. Constructed to prevent the moon from dying, the Terraformer is a massive symmetrical structure that resides off-center of the map. It's a king of the hill kind of location and will definitely be one of the new hot drops. Moving on to the next POI, we have the Stasis Net Array. This is a completely asymmetrical space with a central honeypot of loot, and actually this particular beam emitting from this location is what keeps the floating moon debris from crashing down onto Boreas, as well as the moon itself. Next we have the Atmo Station and Backup Atmo. These, over time, have created a breathable atmosphere on Cleo. Research buildings on the left and right offer landing spots for players to loot and assault the main tower structure, and as well we can see those zip lines to help ride you to the top. Moving on to Perpetual Core, this is actually the sole source of power on the moon, a huge area to support big fights and multiple teams. We have Bionomics, a tightly packed set of circular structures with playable rooftops and plenty of opportunities for vertical flanking. It was originally a research facility built to study the strange fauna, and some of the experimental regrowth actually still populates the abandoned area. We have the Divide. It's a clustered spot of vertical houses filled with loot, separated by bridges and connected by zipline rails. It was one of the first towns of Cleo, but was split due to continued instability of the moon. Looking at the Alpha Base, this was actually the first site built on the moon, and it's packed densely inside of a giant moon crater here, so that should be a fun area to fight in, nice and contained. We also have the Eternal Gardens. This is a vast open space, an actual memorial to the tragic event of Boreas, and these Eternal Gardens are home to the only jump tower on the moon, and so that should be a cool area to fight. I always love the gardens, one of my favorite drops on Olympus. Definitely giving me some fun vibes there. We have the Breaker Wharf, a symmetrical space built for mid-range combat, and it's connected by some bridges and zip rails, as you can see. But as we move on to the production yard, we have another large location with a lot of landing pads kind of forming a T-shaped structure, and it's going to hold a lot of loot and be a big central honeypot to fight over. Just a couple more to go, but man, is this map ever looking beautiful. Let me know what kind of vibe you're getting from it. It's giving me that, Olympus in terms of the buildings, but in the land it's kind of kings and it's kind of rocky. So looking forward to it because those are two of my kind of favorite maps. But let's look at the last few locations, starting with the Foundry. Another large point of interest that features a divided central hub, split along two long arms that are filled with loot, again plenty for 4 teams, and there's a bunch of zip rails that allow you to quickly travel across the main hub and get back to the other side for the fight. We have the Dry Gulch. This entire asymmetrical location is divided by a short bridge, which also acts as a funnel for rotation between two halves of the Dry Gulch. Next we have Cultivation. This is the source of all the food on the moon. It's a collection of circular greenhouses that connect to a large central greenhouse, and that's kind of the seat of power for this location. And that moves us to our last location, the Promenades. It's just another massive zone, kind of a big wall separating north and south. Lots of flank routes in space for crazy fights. Really interesting looking drop zone here. But then again, so are all of these POIs. Really looking forward to the new map. Obviously the new legend has me hyped as well. We got the new battle pass, season of ranked to grind, challenges, LTMs, and more to come. So squad, season 15 is here, Eclipse is here, and I hope you're ready. That does bring us to the end of today's video. Remember to drop a like if you gained any Apex intel, and feel free to subscribe for more Apex videos like this one. But most importantly, thanks for being here. I hope you stay safe, stay gaming, and I will see you in the next one. Comms out.